back here, horse. Oh, hello there.
Hi, I am Ulysses Grant, the 18th President of the United States, and I'm going to tell you about a few facts of my life. I was born on April 27th, 1822 at Point Pleasant. I loved to ride horses and travel, so I broke in horses for farmers and traded horses all over the U.S. When I had time, I also helped in the stables. Jesse Grant, my father, was very proud but outspoken. He worked at a tannery to support me, my 7 siblings, and my mother. My mother was Hannah Grant, and although she was shy, she was very religious. My K-12 years were not easy because the students in the one-room schoolhouse I attended, the ages ranged from 5 years old to 20 years old. Thankfully, at the age of 15, I went to attend a private boarding school. I went to West Point College, not because I wanted to join the military, but because it was free. Even though I didn't like a military life, I did well despite all of my doubts. My jobs were dangerous. After I graduated West Point, I went to a fort. After a while, the Mexican-American War started, and I served as an Army captain in this war. I stormed Mexico City with Captain Robert E. Lee, who I would later fight in the Civil War, and afterward I won many other battles. Besides being a captain, I also served as a quartermaster. A quartermaster makes sure there are always food, artillery, and ammunition on hand. Later in the Civil War, I was the Supreme General of the Union Forces. My brilliant strategies made the captures of Fort Henry, Fort Donelson, and others possible. I also beat Confederate forces in many areas who were commanded by no other than my former ally, Robert E. Lee. My wife was Julia Dent, and she was born in 1827. We met when she was 17 years old, and like me, she also liked to ride horses. She married me on August 22nd, 1848, and may have saved my life by not letting me go to Ford Theater the night Abraham Lincoln was assassinated.
Okay.
My oldest son, Jesse R. Grant, was nominated as a Democrat for president in 1908. Ulysses S. Grant Jr., another one of my sons, was nicknamed Buck. He was the only Grant son that was successful in business by operating the U.S. Grant Hotel in San Diego, California.
Oh no.
My only daughter was Nellie R. Grant. She was my favorite child, but she disappointed me by marrying an Englishman and had her children in England. After I died, she divorced the Englishman and moved back to the U.S. The youngest Grant child was Frederick Grant. Even though he struggled at West Point and it took him 5 years to graduate, he still became a major general in the military. Sadly, he died of the same cancer that claimed me. Throat cancer. My presidential campaign was very successful, even though I took no active part in it. My vice president was Scalmancer Colfax. During my election, I won the Republican convention on the first ballot in 1868, and I won the popular choice with 450 votes. During my inauguration sentence, I urged the ratification of the 15th Amendment and said that I hoped Native Americans could be granted citizenship. Grandpa Dent, the grandpa of Julia, walked around the White House shouting about Yankees and radical Republicans. My daughter Nellie Grant was married in the White House, but my mother, Hannah, never came to the White House. Some of my achievements were the 15th Amendment was ratified, and I granted Native American citizenship, as promised. I also bought Alaska from Russia. However, I also had many failures, like the fact that I rarely showed political leadership. I clearly wasn't involved in any scandals, but it was clear that I had surrounded myself with crooks and thieves, and I was betrayed by my so-called friends. My life after the White House and the presidency was difficult. During my retirement, I went to England, India, Burma, Siam, and Indochina, and I met many world leaders. Mark Twain helped me write my biography. I died of throat cancer at 8:08 a.m. July 23rd, 1885 in a cottage on the Mount McGregor in the Adirondack Mountains in New York. I was 63 when I died. The words on Julia and I's tomb are, "Let us have peace." I had some of the facts before I died were, I had to ask $150,000 from William Henry Vanderbilt, and my biography was published 22 days after I died. A funny fact about my professional life was that I secretly inaugurated Rutherford B. Hayes as president after I got back to the U.S., after I was traveling around the world. I was nominated for Republican convention again, but I lost to James Garfield. That is the story of my life, and I hope you liked it.
Well, that's all I have to tell you. Let's go. Bye.